We millennials love to blame and shame our parents, our grandparents, the boomer generation for being so conservative, traditional, racist, homophobic. But is blaming and shaming really the answer? Now, I don't have all the answers or solutions to this, but maybe trying to understand where they're coming from can point us in the right direction. Now, you have to realize that the boomer generation were coming out of the world wars, and they were part of the sexual reproduction and industrial boom. So as a result, homophobia and racism was at its peak, its climax, before it started to finally decline. Think about it, if you're a part of a society or generation that just came out of a world war, you think everybody's just going to be hunky-dory and not be racist? At the same token, during the sexual reproductive boom, where everyone was trying to have a lot of kids, do you think it was a good idea to come out of the closet? Homosexuality was not even acceptable at the time. If I had to take a wild, but not so wild guess, most of the people who haven't come out of the closet yet are the boomer generation. So that means it's most likely that your parent or your grandparent is probably gay. But of course, it's very difficult to admit that. Most of them still in denial about it. Remember, it's about survival. At the time, you had to conform to what was acceptable by society for you and your family to live a quote-unquote normal life. And homophobia and racism was the norm. But that was necessary back then to build the society that we have today, where homosexuality is a luxury, a privilege, because we are standing on the shoulders of giants. Society today versus society 50 years ago, it's day and night. More CEOs were fired this year than any other time in history for making even the slightest racial or homophobic slur or joke. So instead of playing the blame and shame game, let's come from a place of understanding, compassion, and empathy for our parents, grandparents, and the boomer generation. It's just simply what they had to do at the time to survive so that we may live in a society today where we don't have to worry about the color of our skin or our sexual preference.